Hi Manthra, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. Thank you so much. So, first of all, thanks to you for coming over and taking time out to talk to us about the various benefits you've been having after attending our workshop in the past and after, witnessing certain things in your life. But before we get into all of that, let's just start with a small introduction about yourself and a little bit about your background so people who watch this in the future could probably get to know a little bit about you as well.
Sure. So, introducing myself, I'm Manthra, and I have completed my graduation in audiology and speech language pathology, and my post graduation in speech language pathology. And now I'm currently working as a speech language therapist in a very well known clinic in Bangalore. I'm working as a pediatric speech therapist, basically. So, I deal with children with autism, Down syndrome, and children with special needs, basically. Yeah. So
Wow.
that's a bit about myself.
Right. So, of course, I know what you've been doing in the past, but this is for people, or what you're doing even currently. This is for people who probably will watch this in the future, and it's a significant place of where you work and you make a difference to other people's lives, and that's very, very important. And that's exactly what we do as well, right? So the whole point of trying to synergize with people and understand how we can work together in order to create more impact to other people's lives. So anyway, so the whole thing we're going to be talking about today, Mantra, is trying to understand what is the takeaway for you in a lot of aspects from being associated with us for so long and attending a few of our workshops and all of that. But before that, let me also ask you a little bit, have you attended any trainings, coachings in the past online with any other people, be it in India or outside? Can you share a little bit about those experiences?
Sure, I can do that. So I basically my field especially it requires a lot of communication skills, a lot of confidence, a lot of patience to deal with. And everything like that. And one of the main skill that I would really require is a good communication skill, right? With respect to communicating with my clients, with the parents, counseling part and everything like that. Especially in my profession, it's a very important skill that I really need to have. So initially, it was not really, I don't know if I was in that very confident level of communicating. So I had attended quite some workshops and classes online where I could improve my communication skills. But the drawbacks that I had found in such workshops, but they were very general. As in, I was sent a lot of pre-recorded videos, and there was no personal touch is what I'm meaning to say. As in what you are doing is completely different from what they are doing. As in you take a lot of time in getting to know the person personally. You have a one-to-one session that is going on. There are live sessions going on. Yes, there are group sessions, but initially it's like a tailor-made
Yeah.
classes that you are putting across. But in the previous classes and online sessions that I had attended before, it was very general. As in, there were pre-recorded classes that was just sent to us, which did not really, benefit me in any sort of way. And also, there were grouped classes, but I never found it to be very interactive, or they never provided a platform where I could, raise questions, or, it was very general. I wanted something that is very specific to what I'm working in, right? So what you are providing is very tailor-made. As in, being a healthcare professional, I could talk to you about my personal problems and what I'm facing on an everyday basis, and you customize those skills for me. So that is what I found was very different from what you do and what the previous workshops that I did.
Right. Thank you so much for bringing that out in such a specific way. I really appreciate that. But what made you choose us in the first place, Manthra? I mean, why did you choose Immanuel Williams over? There are plenty of other places. You've also had a few experiences, but what made you choose us more exclusively? Can you just tell us a bit about that?
So before itself, I had attended a lot of workshops of yours and webinars of yours, which was very, very impressive. As in I had attended the mental health webinar, and everything like that. It was very interactive. It always had a personal touch. That is one of the major reasons I have chosen you over anybody else. That is always there. Then you had used a lot of evidence-based practices like NLP, right? So even though I had learned it during my academic, I never really used to practice it. So this was like the mirroring technique and self-affirmation technique and all of that. Bringing it into practice, it made a lot of change in the way I deal with my patients and the counseling part and everything like that. So that NLP was that was very attractive in your brochure when I was going through your modules, the NLP and that having a personal relationship with our clients. So you had taken the effort to put everything, in a very organized way, whatever is required, whatever is not required, right? And with respect to whatever I needed, you put everything across. So yes, that personal touch was always there, that rather than generally giving a class or just reading out PPTs on how to work about, certain things. That is not what we really are looking for, right? But especially when we are looking for something that we really need to work on. Sure. That is what we are looking for, that one-to-one interaction and everything is what we are looking for, which you really provide. Right. So that is why I chose you.
And what about the leadership in specific? Like, do you think, or do we do any, what is the kind of learning you had received through our course in terms of leadership?
Yeah. So initially, I would never call myself a very good leader. I lacked that confidence in the start. And after attending your webinars, like as you say, a leader is not someone who commands around, and he's someone who would lead a team, right? So it requires a lot of confidence. It requires a lot of patience to deal with the team, especially to work as a team member and be a leader at the same time is a very difficult thing to do. It is very easy to tell everyone do this, do that, but it is very important that you play as a team and you do a very, equally contribute to the team. Right. So that skill is something that I had to really work on. That and your classes and a lot of discussion that I had with you, and the ways in which we communicated and everything. It was like it's just not you telling me what to do. You created a lot of scenarios where we could, role play and we could talk about it and we could create such scenarios and we could do that. So I had the liberty to do that with you and you took that time out. Yeah. Right.
I'm just going to ask you a more specific question here. So did you have any specific issues apart from the confidence level that you say that were helping you after coming over to our course and learning what these learnings, did they help you in any specific way, and how did they help you, if you could just tell us that?
Yeah, okay. So as I told you before, I might know a lot of things, right? But it always depends on how I put it across to another person. I have to reciprocate the energy that they're showing me.
Right.
That personal connection, even the listener has to feel with me whenever I talk. This is in specific to the parent counseling I'm talking about. Right. Because they have to have a trust on us, right? Whenever they are trusting their child with me, they have to have that personal connection with me, and they have to trust me on doing such things. So
and how did this help you to overcome this the apprehension about leading people at the workplace, or communicating with the clients with more confidence. How did our workshop actually help you to overcome these challenges that you were facing prior to coming over to our workshop?
Okay. So, prior to coming to your workshop, the things that I mentioned before, I lacked in areas of all of that. And after I talked to you about it, like with respect to different modules, I'm talking
Right.
in each of the levels, I had taken home a lot of messages that you had put across. You had sent me a lot of even brochures and articles that I could read about, and you itself, were a good model where I could learn a lot of things from. You yourself being a very great leader, and I could learn a lot of things from you. And that a leader, as I said, he has to have a personal connection. With the team.
With the team, so yes, correct.
You created a lot of scenarios where I could, act out being a leader, and where it was very custom made, like where I could work things on, where what were my strengths, what were my weaknesses. You pointed them out, and you suggested me a lot of ways in which I could work on my weaknesses in definitely a very good way. So I think.
And what is your current day situation as compared to before? You were facing these issues. You said you were not confident. You've improved. Can you tell us a little more about how confident you are today with the team, with your patients, and with clients, and anybody who's coming to see you? And has it impacted you even as a person? Because I remember you telling me about your personal life and things like that. So can you tell me a little more specifically about how this has impacted you compared to before? Where do you stand today?
Yeah, okay. So as you already said, it has your classes and webinars has very much helped me in improving personal relationships as well. Right? Not just my professional relationship with my clients and everything, even my friends, my family, the communication I have with them has become very, very personal. Like I think I have improved in a lot of ways after attending your webinars. So if I was to rate myself before attending your webinar, I would say my, my skill or my where I was standing in my professional and my personal life with respect to my communication and my leadership skills would be around 5, not more than 5, I would definitely say. But after attending your webinar, I'm not saying I've become a very great leader or I'm excelling in my communication or anything like that, but definitely I'm above 7 is what I can say right now, like to be very honest. And I'm still working on it. I'm a work in progress. So you've sent me a lot of materials. I've been reading about it and working on it on an everyday basis. So I've just not left it after the webinar. I've been practicing it on an everyday basis with my family.
And how would you rate our services and our workshop?
Definitely a 9 on 10. That no doubt about
Thank
all
you
of that.
so much. That's really very very, very nice of you for taking time out. And are there any things that you want to share with us? What were your happiest moments through these workshop modules that we spoke about? We spoke several things about leadership and personality and all of that. So what are the happiest moments, or what is the best part about coming over to this workshop? And would you recommend this to any other people, colleagues, friends, etc., who you think, in your view, would benefit from this workshop?
Right. Yeah. So I forgot to mention about the self-affirmation techniques that you have mentioned. So it brought in me a lot of confidence and a very positive attitude with respect to having a relationship with people. I've always felt very underconfident when it comes to communication, and I used to avoid from all of that, having a conversation with people, be it personal or professional. Like I would just talk, to the point and probably not have a conversation, because I used to avoid all of that, because probably maybe due to lack of confidence, or maybe for whatever reasons, right? So, but I've always felt like after attending your webinar and those self-affirmation techniques, that brings me a lot of positive attitude in communicating with people. Awesome. Be it personal, be it professional, in any ways, right? Especially when I start having a good personal connection with a client of mine, it brings me a lot of joy, right? It makes me feel like they feel confident in me, they trust me in whatever I do, and when they appreciate me for whatever I do, and appreciate me for whatever time I take to communicate with them, and whenever they're very happy and satisfied about it, that itself brings me a lot of joy. It might be a very small thing, but it brings me a lot of joy, because this I've been dealing with on an everyday basis, right? Especially with respect to parent counseling, especially parents of special children, they are going through a very hard time, right? Raising the kids, making them independent. It's a very hard road to travel in, right? So we are like, it is very important that a therapist like me have a very good personal relationship with the parents, rather than just being a professional who's just teaching kids how to talk. So that's not how it works with us. So when they are also happy with my service, and when they're happy that I am taking my 100% effort in looking after their child, and they verbally tell it out to me that you're really doing a good job, you're really happy with you, all that it brings a lot of joy. It makes my day, right? So I think that the credit completely goes to you for all of that. As I said, I'm still a work in progress, but there's a lot of room for
we all are a work in progress. We all are a work in progress, I said.
So I know that I can come back to you anytime for anything that I want. So that confidence is also there.
Yeah, that's exactly what we offer, right? We offer a community space. It's not just about having a brand of a company. It's about building a community of people who can get impacted and then pass that on to other people, and spread the light to other people's lives. And I think that's where your career and mine kind of align with each other, where we make a difference to people's lives, of course in different ways, but I think the goal is the same at the end of the day, right? So thank you once again, Manthra, for this wonderful testimony that you've given us, and I'm so happy to have had you here and speak the positive things about it. And also there's a long way for us to go as well, but it's really nice to hear what our participants have to say all the time. So thank you for taking the time out, and I wish you great success, and I'll speak to you soon.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.